Just gonna give it a second. Let's see. Hey, lovely soul Empress here, coming to do another live with you guys. What's good, Copenhagen? What's good through Maddie's eyes? We're gonna talk about some stuff today, okay? So as you guys saw, I put return to sender. And there is a time. What's good, BJ? What's good, Tamila? There is a time when the energy of a return to sender is necessary. Okay, it's necessary. And then there are times when it's not. Soulful sister, what's good? Okay. You finally made it. Good. We're glad to have you. So I feel like we need to talk about when we handle things in the spiritual, right? And when we handle things in the physical, right? So last night I was doing my Patreon new and full moon session. And I was telling the people in the group that earlier during the day, yesterday, I happened to be on YouTube and I came across someone's, someone that I follow, okay? And I feel like, this person has a lot of knowledge, or else I wouldn't be following them, right? Correct? Anyway, this person was doing like, I want to say they were talking about a personal experience that they had, but they were also using this as a teaching session, which I applaud because I do that as well. Right? It's okay. So this person was talking about how you do a return to sender. This is what fucked me up because we're going to get right into it. This person said, because this person hurt my feelings. And I was doing something, I forgot what I was doing. I might have been doing dishes, whatever, while I was listening. And when she said, this person hurt my feelings, it was like my neck said, right? Like, how the dogs look at you when they're confused and they're like, that was me. So I ran it back. And I'm like, no. She said, when your feelings are hurt and you want to return the feeling. What's good, Nelson? Right? So I'm like, as immediately I heard, oh, no. Right. Now, I feel like if you are blessed with, everybody has their own sense of magic. Okay? Everyone has their own sense of magic, right? And so if you are one of the people who are blessed to know what your gift is, and if you've been chosen for some spiritual path, right, it would be an abuse of power to send a return to sender type energy to someone who hurt your feelings. Can I just start with that? Okay, the definition of a return to sender is to return an energy that has been sent to you in the spiritual realm. Now, what I want to clarify about this is someone doesn't necessarily have to sit down to do work to send you work. What do I mean by this? There are a lot of people who are quite gifted and powerful in their own right, and they can just think something's called, you know, the evil eye, right? Bad juju, that kind of thing, right? Mal de ojo for my Latin people, right? This is sent with like a darker intention, okay? And so my point is, right? Your spirit team might tell you, so-and-so has sent, you know, the evil eye to you. Or, you know, there are even occasions where people are bold enough to tell you, but that's a whole other story, right? But there's a difference between actual work, someone sending evil intent. Those two should be separated too, because they could be just sending it with their mental and not actually doing something, right? And then the third is that it's in the 3D. Not everybody's gonna like you. Not everybody's gonna, you know, like your light. We just talked about that, right? The other day. What was it? Wednesday. I took a day off. I needed one, right? I think that we do ourselves a disservice when we go to the divine to take care of things that really should be handled in the 3D. First off, it's abuse of power. Secondly, it's an abuse of your ancestors. Okay? Remember, we were talking about the other day how the spirit got to get paid for the work, right? Thirdly, you could be creating karma for yourself. So what do I mean by this? Let's say that somebody, let's say it's a cousin. Let's say as a child, you had a cousin who used to say or do hurtful shit to you. And they always was like keeping up with the Joneses or always maybe put you down or whatever, right? It's different if your ancestors show you like, yo, so-and-so did this, or so-and-so doesn't mean you well, right? But if you get together for Thanksgiving or let's say Easter, and this person, let's say, gives you a backhanded compliment that you know they trying to shit on you, right? Like, let's say they say, you know, I'm so surprised you know, you came out all right because, you know, I didn't think you was going to be shit. That's a very derogatory thing. Does that warrant you putting their name on a candle? Because they hurt your feelings? Or is that your ego and your shadow creating karma for yourself? Because that's what's going to happen. The snapback on that shit. All right, so let's pull some oracles. Let's see what spirit got to say about, you know, being in your feelings about a comment and then going home and doing work on people because you don't like what they said. Let's see how that looks. See, I would never do that, me personally. First off, if I wanted to address something, I'd say it there. Okay? Hell, that means they triggered and they need to heal that. Correct. Thank you. Thank you, Soulful Sister. Like, what the hell are we doing here? Is that what we're doing? Okay, so your ego is so fragile that you would stoop to using your ancestors to punish someone for something that they said that hurt your feelings. What's good, Torah? Not only is that some petty patty shit, okay, but what do you think's gonna happen in the reverse? And then the next time maybe you're judgmental or you're coming across as being a bitch, right? What's gonna happen to you? See what I mean? See what I mean? Because we all have our days, right? Too many, spirit. We all have our days. And I think that's inappropriate, okay? I also, let me tell you something. I also don't like to put names on return senders. I know that people have varying opinions about this. What's good, Crystal? Okay? I know that people have varying opinions. Listen, I have to be 100% sure. I also have to feel that the offense is so huge for me to put a name on it. Okay? Because I feel like often there are even spells. I'm going to keep it a buck with you so you can have some concept of how, things can take a turn quickly, right? There are confusion spells. And the ancestors don't want to, but you have to understand that the ancestors, because she wrote, okay, why do the ancestors want to do something so stupid? They don't, right? But in a way, you would be bribing them, right? I'm going to give you this rum because I feel like so-and-so did this and they hurt my feelings, right? Okay? But like what I was saying, there are confusion spells. Okay, just in case you didn't know, there's confusion spells, right? There's also ways to cover yourself from being seen, right? So, for instance, this happens a lot, especially on this platform. Somebody wants to stop someone else from doing their spiritual work, right? Somebody wants to stop them from doing their spiritual work. Maybe they feel like they're shining brighter or some shit, right? So they want to do a spell on someone to shut their path down. Let's use that as an example, right? But they don't want to be seen because if they're seen, they know that this person is in the spiritual path and they're strong enough to send some shit back, right? Return to sender, right? So what are they going to do? They're going to do a spell to cover themselves. And this is like a confusion or a chaos spell. So that way it can look like it's somebody else. So you could be sitting in your house and be like, I know who the fuck this is. I'm going to write their name down. Meanwhile, the real person did a confusion spell. You now threw your juju at the wrong person. Maybe undeservingly. Now, spirit may take that as an opportunity. Maybe this person has done shit to you in the past. Or maybe this person, has some other pending karma, right? So they're going to serve that out. But they're going to remember, ching ching, check over here, abuse of power. Okay? So you could be, in an offhanded way causing yourself chaos. So what I do when I know that there's somebody sending me negative energy, what's good, Evelyn? I want to cover all the bases. You feel me? Right? What if it is that person that you think, but it's 3 other people? Usually it comes in a clique, right? Probably from different directions, right? Because once the door is open for you to be unprotected, it's like all the things come in, right? So what do? Return the energy to the person who is sending me negativity, who is trying to close my roads down, right? To the enemies that are seen and unseen. That way, I can go ahead and go to sleep. And spirit knows who they need to speak to or who they got to handle. And I don't have to get myself dirty with attacking people that don't deserve it. Much better way. Okay, so you got last quarter moon in Gemini. Clear your mind. Spirit says don't come to your altar or wherever you're doing your work pissed off, not open-minded. These are where errors are made, okay? It's showing Gemini the duality, right? Got to be clear. Because as above, so below. Some of this shit lives within us too, right? And then we talked about the other day with the shadow self and, you know, causing ourselves blockages and shit, right? And about how we get in our own way. So you could be so damn sure that somebody's doing work to you, and you know what I'm saying? So by putting it in the phrasing of to those that are seen and unseen, Spirit knows who they need to handle. You're not judge and jury. They are. Okay? Full moon in Leo. Go wild, right? Spirit's like, give us the resources, right? Put your work together, whether it's candle, your offering, right? But don't tell us how to do our job, right? They're also, when they say go wild, they're talking about it's primitive energy, right? So often when I go to my altar for work like this, I want something that represents the 4 elements, at least, right? So like incense, water, fire, right? Earth, right? You know, your work is more effective when you tap into, whether positive or negative, right? When you tap into primal energy, right? I always ask Spirit for what's for my highest good and to protect me from those who want to prevent me from my soul's path, who are trying to harm me, who are trying to ensnare me. These are the words that I use. I don't say because they hurt my feelings. Spirit, go give them a spanking because they hurt my feelings. Right? Because I chose this path and there's going to be a lot of people that don't agree with me. And if that was the case, I would be there, standing there, lighting candles all fucking day. You know? New moon in Cancer, relax. Not everything you should be bothering your spirits with. Right? They already do so much for you that you don't realize. They wake you up in the morning. You have a roof over your head. You got a plate of food, right? You got clothes on your back, right? All these things, right? And then, you know, we're going to bother them with petty things. You know, I was just saying to you the other day that I don't even like to ask for too much good things because I feel like I'm in my ego. I feel like that would be selfish. I feel like they gave me gifts to try to assist other people. Not that I can't ask for things for myself, but sometimes I feel bad. Like, you know what? You already do so much for me. Right? Right. So Crystal says, wow, I would address this person to their face instead of doing magic work. That's wild. Right. So this is like, I cannot. And I feel like there's a mass awakening. We've been talking a lot about new gifts and such and such, right? Sorry, my hair looks crazy. Right? And I'm so happy that this path, you know, is getting like a reawakening, and people are coming into knowledge and wanting to, you know, learn more. What's good, Rasta Mommy Williams? I love seeing this, that there's this mass awakening. But I want people to come in with knowledge. This is not because somebody hurt your feelings. This is if you want to use, you know, like let's say tarot, right? Tarot's not to really, I mean, you can use it to spy on your boyfriend, but it's really like to uncover what is blocking you so that you could transform that sector in your life, right? To warn you of impending danger, of blockages, of necessary shadow work, right? Thank you. So, you know what I'm saying? Now, I feel like there's times, I'm going to tell y'all a funny story that is kind of related to this. There are times where people make poor decisions and it can appear like this. Had this situation that I'm about to say happened to me, old girl probably, I would have thought she was doing something and it probably would have went poorly. Okay, my sister-in-law, she was dating a woman that worked where she worked. She had an ex-girlfriend that used to work there long before that. So the ex-girlfriend, I'm not kidding, the ex-girlfriend, she put raw chicken, like a chicken leg, in this lady's bag. First off, my thing would be like, I'm from Harlem. So, are you trying to call me a chicken head? I might lose my job behind the ass whooping that I might have to like dole out, right? But, there's also like the chicken leg, right? Right? So, were you working that chicken? Were you working that chicken? Did you put that shit in my bag because you did some shit to that? Huh? Because that's the type of shit I would take to my altar. Right? So this girl could have not even been spiritual. She could have been a smart ass who was trying to call this chick a chicken head. Right? Exactly, Crystal. Right? So she said beat her ass with the chicken. Right? Exactly. So, okay. So would she have been wrong to go home and think like, oh, so this woman put chicken, so she's working? Yeah, that shit could have been taken like that. You understand? So this is why you got to ask. This is why you got to have a good connection with your ancestors, because you don't want to, did she deserve, was it mad crazy wrong? But is that the way you should go? Is that the way you should? You got to be sure, right? Because now you could have went home and hexed her ass, right? And meanwhile, she was just being trifling. And it wasn't even no spiritual shit, right? So I just wanted to put that out there about how people do stupid shit and they might not have spiritual knowledge and now they caught themselves a whole other fucking thing, right? New moon in Virgo, trust all that will be well, right? What do I say? We spiritually strapped over here, right? So first off, what's good, Sugar Plum? Let me add by saying that oftentimes when I'm aware that somebody is feeling a particular way, and even if I'm getting that energy, I will reinforce. And I reinforce my protection quite frequently. Okay? Why? Because if I stay ready, I don't got to get ready. You feel me? If I stay ready, I don't got to get ready. Right? And I know that spirit protects me, especially what the assignment that they given me. They protect me, right? So do I feel like I need to have my head on a swivel? No, because you know what? I do my spiritual work. I keep my protections up. And if something more is needed, my spirit team has woken me up dead out my sleep. Get your ass up. They just lit a candle. No lie. Get your ass up. They just lit a candle. They'll wake me up. So if something more than my average day-to-day upkeep to my my protection, which I don't just protect myself. I don't just protect my house. I protect my whole block. My whole block. My neighbors can leave their doors open. You feel me? So This is what I'm saying, right? If I stay on top of it, my spirit teams will advise me, hey, something off. Maybe a piece of jewelry will break. Or in my case, they usually just straight out tell me like somebody did something. They'll even show me what they did. Okay? You know, so I don't really have to do that. You know, there's some things that I know, right? Like, let's say somebody wants to do some work to me behind money, right? Maybe they owe me money and they don't want to pay the money. This actually happened to me, right? And they don't want to pay me my money. So they're trying to do work so that they don't have to pay me my money, right? I'm not going to put that person's name. I'm just going to be like, you know what, Spirit? Somebody owes us money for the work that we do. And they're trying to cause me blockages so that I can receive my just payment that I can't, you know, I would be offering to you as well, right? I need this removed so I can continue with the work that you have me doing. Like that. I don't have to put no name. Okay? Now, let's say it's something a little more serious. I save those things for like off the rocker shit. Okay? Now, I'm going to give y'all some exceptions. Okay? Hold on one second. Yes, and that is exactly how it is. I'm not going to read your comment out loud, but yes, you're correct. So, I'm going to give you some examples. I'm going to give you some examples of the times where, even if it's not a spiritual attack, that it's okay to whoop that ass spiritually. Okay? I'm going to give you some examples of situations where it's even better to handle it spiritually than it is in the 3D. Okay? Let's say there's a child. Let's say you have a child. Or let's say you're a worker like me. Right? And a client comes to you. If you're a skilled worker, you know, your team will tell you if it's true or it's not true. Right? There's ways of investigating these things. But let's just say that you have a child. And you find out that, you know, somebody attacked them sexually, physically, any of that shit. That's the green light. Okay? Because in some ways, Spirit will prefer that you let them, that they get involved. You know, obviously you can still go to the police, right? I'll do that too, right? But Spirit would prefer that than you get locked up, right? That's a you don't gotta ask type shit. As long as you know that that person actually did that, okay? Now, let's say that you have a marriage or your sibling is married, right? And they are leaving now. It's gone its course. I'm not talking about a little breakup. I'm talking about like this man beats her ass for the last 5 years. You've seen her lumped up all the time, all types of shit. That's a go. That's a go. Right? Because that's harming somebody, like literally. Like that person could die. Okay, that's a go. I don't feel bad. I'm with it. Okay, I'm with all the smoke in that situation. anything against children in that manner, okay? Anything on the abuse of power of like beating somebody's ass and repeatedly, right? Okay, like look at, I'm not trying to get into that old story, but like you remember the Chris Brown and why the fuck I can't remember her name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And they was fighting in the car, right? Rihanna. Right? They fighting in the car and shit. You know, I believe that Rihanna, you know, he shouldn't have done that, right? But we weren't there, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he was beating her every day. I'm not excusing it. I'm totally on Rihanna's side, but I'm putting a difference of like a masculine who is, or a woman, right? Repetitively abusing their power and beating their ass. Because, you know, that's what intervention and mediation and the police are for, if it was just one time. But, hey, you keep doing that shit, you need to speak to a higher authority. These are situations, all right? Intuition. Each person's road to the inner Lord is extraordinary and personal. How liberating to listen inside and sense the moment to moment was needed. You hear that? How liberating to listen inside and sense the moment to moment was needed. Spirit said they will tell you what you need, okay? That you don't need to be the judge and the jury. Non-duality. Let your authentic humanity shine forth while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become fluent at doing both. Let your authentic humanity, okay, shine forth while bowing to the divine, because you're not in charge. Okay, so you give it to the divine. You give it to your ancestors. You give it to the spirit guides. They know what to do, right? And the non-duality, as above, so below, right? We're not the judge or the jury, right? Because you could create karma for yourself, right? There's nothing from a past life that can't be addressed in this current life, right? I don't want to be responsible for hurting someone if it's unnecessary. I would rather return it to the light, like we were talking about Wednesday, right? I might walk around with a spiritual hitman who might, you know, go a different route, but I don't want to be the one unless I have to, okay? Why? Because I'm trying to live in divine love, okay? This is, and love is stronger than hate anyway, right? When you offer everything to the divine with detachment, you begin a love affair with spirit. Spirit knows the purity of heart. Spirit knows the purity of heart. They know if you are just or unjust. They know if this person is just or unjust. They know if this person did something maliciously, by accident, reckless, whatever. They know how to categorize that, not you. Okay? I'm going to get some tarot. I want to see what spirit got to say about this shit. Because I was like, what the hell is this lady talking about? About feelings being hurt and lighting candles. Your feelings are hurt, light a pink candle, ask spirit to heal you. Or a blue candle, right? Self-love, right? Healing for the blue, right? What? Why? Like, work on yourself. If evidently, you know, she's talking about her feelings hurt. If your ass is that soft, then maybe that's what you should be working on. Right? Got the Emperor here. Control. Right? And the ego, right? Right? The Emperor is the boss that pays the cost. Let's say that your spirit team is solid like that. Maybe they see you as the boss that pays the cost. Right? They want to grant what you ask them for. You might even have an ancestor that comes in and does the shadow work, right? So let me explain. You could have had an ancestor that passed and they weren't all the way in the light yet. And they could be helping you with particular parts of your life. And you could be an ego, right? You could be an ego, right? And you could be saying like, this person hurt me and this, that, and the third, and I want them to get what they deserve. There could be things about that ancestor that you don't fully know about their lifetime, about where they ceased to ascend. Remember, not all the ancestors that are with you are for every different situation. So that ancestor could be the ancestor that comes and gives fire and brimstone, right? Now you sent the spiritual hitman after somebody who hurt your feelings, right? Right? You don't know if that ancestor was one who was like, you know what? I deserted my family, and because of that, X, Y, and Z happened. And so no matter what, even when, I think they might be wrong, I'm rocking with my family 110%. So they give you what you asked for. That would be fucked up, right? So the Emperor is here with the 5 of Pentacles. So sometimes being your ego and wanting to handle everything yourself and taking the power rather than allowing spirit to navigate you, and let spirit in that moment, because you're hot and pissed off in the 3D, right? Let them be the emperor in that moment. Spirit, if I'm right and this situation is as it appears, I need you to handle this situation for me. But if I'm wrong and it's somebody else, handle that. Or clear this anger out of me because this is dangerous. You could do that, right? Because the closer you are to your spirit guides, the faster they move. What if you're rash? You're having a rash judgment. 10 of Cups in reverse, right? One more. Yeah. 10 of Cups in reverse. See, because your spirit team doesn't have love for those other people. They have love for you. Okay? Knight of Cups. They want to please you. If you say this person did it, right? They might know, but they're like, oh, so there must be another problem here, right? So let's send them a little something too. We're going to go touch that other one that really started the shit, but you know what I'm saying? And then the 4 of Cups in reverse, right? Oh, Spirit, wait. I just found out something. I don't think it was them. I think it was really this person. Spirit don't miss. 4 Cups is a missed opportunity in the upright. Spirit doesn't miss. Okay? Spirit don't miss. Meaning, you need to be sure. Right? Or else you find yourself in Hangman, stuck with some karma that doesn't belong to you. That would be a tragedy, right? Right, over $40. So through Maddie's eyes is saying, I know someone that wanted to do harm to someone over $40. I know a young man that died for 20. Died for 20. Do you see? Knight of Wands. Think, rash decisions. Doing something, then thinking whether it was the right thing, right? And then the King of Swords here coming out cross, right? I'm under no illusion that every one of my guides is like angelic. I know that I have a couple that is about the smoke. That's a problem. Because if I just start unleashing them without thinking, right? I'm also going to be embodying that frequency. I feel like I only go to those lower energy ancestors when it's time to bring the heat. And the rest of the time, I'm trying to like keep my spirit guides appeased so that they're not causing problems or mayhem, right? And sometimes what seems like an emergency in the moment, right? You're hella pissed off, right? 2 days from then, you might not even feel like that. You could feel like, you know what? Even if this person was da 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 da, you know what? I feel like their life is fucked up enough. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, my spirit team is very powerful. This person is probably doing it wrong because they don't know enough to really, and it would be like, you know, me taking a sledgehammer to a fly, right? And after I've thought about it with the temperance card here, I recognize that, you know what? I just need patience and divine timing and healing. It's not that serious. And then I can go to calmer waters. You know, I'm not even all that mad, right? I want to piece it up, right? You need some time for reflection. Before, and I don't even like to go to my altar in that frequency because I am a high priestess. They will respond to me. And, you know, my frequency is going to determine like their urgency, right? So if I go over there, you know, with flames coming out of my eyes, what do you think is going to happen? Right? So I don't want to be responsible for someone's demise because I couldn't, you know, wait till the morning. Even if they did do some shit that was worthy. Why? Because spirit should dole out what's appropriate, not dole out what's appropriate with a sprinkle of you hurt my baby, right? Because if I go to that altar really angry, when I'm angry, I cry. I rarely cry out of sadness. Okay, that's why in the 2 years I've been doing these readings, no matter how emotional I get, you never see me cry, right? I cry when I'm angry, right? So, and crying is like a spell, right? So if I go to the altar and I'm crying tears of anger, they're gonna respond because that very rarely happens where I'm shedding tears. So they know that is no more fucking games, right? You got to check in with your higher self. Look at the high priestess coming out cross. Did you check with your ancestors? Are you sure that you've used your intuition? Are you sure that you've used any other method that is possible? With the 9 of Wands? Or are you responding in a knee-jerk reaction? If this shit is triggering you, like we were saying before, if you're being triggered, like this person said something to you, they hurt your feelings because they always treated you like that since you were a kid, that's your triggers and your traumas. You need to get over that shit, right? Instead of like trying to destroy this person, heartbreak, right? Also, I just want to go somewhere else because Spirit just whispered in my ear. Rules of engagement. So you start, let's say, your ex-husband. Start working your ex-husband. Specifically. Name on it, you know. You could have just said to Spirit, who's causing the problem? Handle that, please. Thank you very much. Spirit will take care of that, right? But now, yes, 4:44 on the clock, right? So now, what you do is you go and you're like, I hate this motherfucker. Sick of him. Da-da-da-da-da. You got a child with him. 2 children, whatever. I want him to pay for the shit and the heartbreak and you just scratching away and putting this person's name, right? Friday, the kids are going over for visitation, right? They get in the car. He picks them up, get in the car. He gets into an accident. your kids could be in that car. Right? Or maybe it doesn't even happen like that. Maybe you have a child that loves daddy and is very close to daddy. Daddy could be an asshole. That's not the point, right? And now, you did something, and maybe this person isn't an upstanding citizen, okay? Maybe they're a street pharmacist, right? And you did something for them to get caught up legally, right? So now they get arrested. And you might be thinking like, good, I hope he spends the night in jail. He deserves that. And the next thing you know, because you did that, that person, had this little bullshit charge that they were going to get, but they have something that you didn't know about. And they just caught a 25 to life. Now they got a 25 to life. And you might be like, good, fuck that motherfucker. But is your kid going to feel that way? Right? Or a family member. Let me tell you something. I don't even like to work. Let's say it's that a female has done something wrong to me and I know about it in the spiritual realm. This has happened to me too. I have went to my spirit guides and say, I need you to handle this without doing something that will harm this child. I will specifically say that because I know that my ancestors, my spirit guides, if I tell them that somebody's done something and they verify that and I check it out, right? They're not going to care what's going on. That's for extreme situations. That is not for, hurt feelings or even, like this person said some shit or I know that they were trying to shut my money down. That's not for that. You know what I'm saying? That's not for that. And I never want a child to be harmed by anything that I do. So I am very clear with my guides. Okay? And I said the rules of engagement, that's the Hierophant. Okay, there's rules. You got to decide. Are you going to be, in your moral authority? Right? Got to be in your moral authority. Is it right? I didn't say, because let's say that a child molester ends up being freed and not going to jail, right? He beats the case. That's not right. That's what your spirit team is for. Oh, they let him out? Oh, okay. Well, he should have went in because the shit is about to get real. You see what I'm saying? That's for things that is like real. This isn't for, this person owes me $40. Or, I lent them money. This is another one. I lent them money and they don't want to pay it back. You could just say to Spirit, can you make sure that what I lent in good heart and faith will be returned to me? And I won't lend money anymore because you shouldn't lend money that you don't have to spare. Because now you're pissed off that this person doesn't have it in time, or whether it's right or it's not. You wouldn't be in that situation. You could have just told them no, right? So there's that too. Okay, so you got the Two of Swords out here because there's things that you can't see. Look with the devil right underneath it. There's things that you can't see, things that you don't know, right? And we do. It came up in the pick a card the other day. Some of us got some real savage spirit guides that be like, oh, okay, all right. So we don't want to do that. Also, we don't want to bring other people's spirit guides. You're not the only person that got a gangster spirit guide. Right? So now you had your team reach out and touch somebody. And guess what? They could be spiritually strapped too. What if that shit snaps back on you and yours? In the Bible, it says, sins of the father shall go to the child. That's why I like to make sure that what I'm doing for the appropriate reasons, and I'm doing in the appropriate way, not to bring generational curses down on my children. Okay? Now, I also have a thing with my spirit guides that, what's that thing? Touch a hair on my chinny chin chin. I already have given my spirit guides approval in advance. Anyone plays with my babies, they know not to even wait. Okay? Let's see what Spirit got to say, and we're going to get up out of here. So all of my wonderful family here can enjoy their weekend. But Spirit put this on me yesterday, and I had told the group from Patreon, I was like, yeah, this is what we talking about tomorrow, because that shit was disturbing to see that somebody was saying that because their feelings were hurt, that they were doing a return to sender. Like, that's an absurdity. It's an absurdity. Pathway. Anything else, Spirit? Pathway, right here, you can either decide that you're going to do things like this Hierophant. Where's the Hierophant? I don't know where he went. Right? You can decide to do things like the Hierophant and be, try to be as just as possible, right? And do things in the appropriate way. Because if you don't, you could be shutting down your abundance with wealthy man in reverse, causing yourself poverty. There's more than one type of poverty, right? I am studying right now some liturgy in the ATRs. And something that struck me was that, children were counted as abundance repeatedly in these liturgies, right? Meaning you could be shutting down your whole fucking line. I have seen that. Where someone is working so spiritually corrupt that there's no more in their line, that it's like the line got shut down. This could happen with children, the ability to have children, right? Financially, love-wise, you see, so there's more than one type of abundance. So we need to be careful that we're not bringing down wrath on ourselves for abusing and misusing these gifts, right? Because Spirit will judge you. Spirit will judge you. Okay? Sometimes they'll even judge you for your thoughts. Okay? Like, you know what? Yes, this person did this to you, but, we want you to check in your heart for why you feel that retaliation is necessary. And is it necessary in this fashion? Is it compensatory? This is the other thing. And this is a fact. Let's say somebody does something to you that warrants a return to sender. Like the day when my spirit guides woke me up and they were like, get up, they're lighting candles on you right now. Right? As y'all know, I don't like to put names, right? But it's totally legitimate in a situation like that to be like, return this 3 times fold, 10 times fold, 100 times fold, right? That's like legitimate, right? But she was explaining that whole you could do it times such and such for my feelings of hurt. I want this person to experience the pain that they made me feel. I felt like her thing was not specific enough to limit it to an emotional boo-boo, right? And I felt like it was uncalled for and out of line and unprofessional to give out that message to so many that are right now just discovering how to walk in this walk, and that is misinformation. Okay? Free yourself. Yes, exactly. It's not enough to do that, right? Free yourself and soulmate. Right? What if you were doing so well? Opening your paths, meditating, clearing out shadow work, doing all this work. And Spirit was just about to open that door, give you your soulmate. And then you do something that was unwarranted and unjust. Guess what's going to happen? Okay? All right? So here we are, right? You were about to get your soulmate, or maybe you have your soulmate, but then it gets removed, right? Because maybe their spirit guides, your soulmate spirit guides, is like, you know what? We don't want our child of divine light with somebody who's so vindictive, who might, one day do this shit to them, right? Right. No, I don't think it's anybody that you know, Lady Soldier. But my point is, right? You could be causing the things that you have been manifesting to either be delayed or removed from you. Look at this shit. You want to be free to enjoy the things that you have worked so hard for, right? You don't want to be messing with, spells and incantations and sending jinxes. First off, until you even know your spirit guides well enough, and secondly, that you're doing spiritual investigations to make sure that you're right, and then thirdly, that you're doing it with your higher self. Okay. So you got chemistry here in reverse, right? Right? Because that spell work, it could backfire and hit you, right? Chemistry, right? Well, we're putting all these herbs together. We're alchemists, right? We're alchemists. Could be chemists too, like we're using oils and herbs, and you have to know the difference, right? So, I wanted to, I'm not going to keep you out. Today's the new moon. And normally I would have did a new moon, read. But I feel like, with all this awakening happening, I really want to, touch in with you guys and talk about, not just the things we have license that we don't have license to do. And you could do them, but they might not work out for you the way you think. Okay? So that's pretty much what I have for you guys, okay? I just wanted to talk to you about that. I was like, what are we doing here? Is this what we're teaching people, right? To draw themselves karma rather than teaching them how to appropriately... Everything else was about the way she did it was appropriate, but the intent was off. Okay? So that's pretty much what I have for you guys. I'd just like to say thank you to my returning subscribers for coming through and spending a little time with me. And if you're a new viewer and you felt I resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and comment, as I'd love to have you as part of the Lovely Soul family. I'm wishing you all light and love and blessings on blessings. Namaste.